I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to Underdeveloped, where we cover everything movies, and today we have another review for you guys. It is of Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Or should we say Skittles, Fury of the Product Placement?
Yes, oh my god, this is a Skittles. This is the most egregious product placement I've seen in my life. But let's get it, but we'll get to that later. Let's just, DC's weird right now, you know what I mean? I remember James Gunn pretty much said that this kind of always was in its own world. So it probably is not going to be connected to the greater DCU that James Gunn is planning. But after this movie, it probably is not going to make more because of the performance. I'm pretty sure I've heard that the movie didn't make much. They grossly underperformed, and the reviews are much worse than the first one. The first one had like a 90%. This one has a 53%. Mm-hmm. But the audience score is high. They kind of have the Atom thing, you know,
yeah,
where
it's
they,
like Black Adam.
Yeah, like they have a high audience score, but like a lower critics score. And I have to say, I agree with the critics here.
Yeah,
but
me too.
We'll get into that though.
Also, one thing that kind of bugs me about the movie is really just there's just too many characters. Like you have like already a massive group. There's a massive group as your main characters. You have Billy, and you have the only ones who really get any like time to shine, or I forget his name. You know who I mean. Yeah, they don't say who the fuck.
Jack Dylan Grazer.
Okay, he plays Freddy. Okay,
Freddy.
The only ones who really get any good amount of screen time are Freddy and Mary. They're the only ones who are like decently characterized, and even then, that's mostly Freddy. Mary gets like a little sliver of screen time and characterization where it's like really devoted to her, where she's doing stuff important, and then the others are just there for like a couple gags and some fight scene stuff, and that's it. Like a lot of them barely contribute anything, and on top of this massive group of heroes, we have three villains, none of which get enough screen time. Especially since Lucy Liu is like she's just so vindictive, and she does really stupid things because of her vindication. And I get it, like sometimes you just have people who are so driven by revenge, they'll do stupid shit. Like,
before you keep going, you've got to put the laptop to charge.
No, I didn't. It's right here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, like I get it. Sometimes you have villains who are just so wrapped up in their vengeance that they just do stupid shit in the sake of vengeance. Like that's like Star Trek 2 did that, where Khan was just so obsessed with killing Kirk, even though he could have just left with the Genesis device and done whatever the fuck he wanted with it. But it makes more sense in that movie because they actually like took the time to establish what happened to him, how personally he took it.
Fair enough, they had a whole show to kind of.
He was there in one episode.
Still, it was something that happened before the events of the movie that you could watch yourself. You know.
Yeah, but most people who saw the movie didn't see that episode.
But even so, they still had it there.
But even then, in the context of the movie, but as itself, you don't need to see the episode to understand any of that. You get his motivation. You get everything. It's all done very well in the movie itself. While here, she just kind of out of nowhere just is more vindictive than Helen Mirren is or the other sister is, and they don't really understand why. Like, why did she take it so much more personally than the other sisters? That's never really addressed or explained. It just kind of happens, and then she just callously kills her.
It kind of chalks up to just her ego, I guess. Like, she feels like humans are beneath her, so, you know what I mean? Like, fuck them. But as I said, it still comes off as, like, out of really, like, thin air. You're just a bitch. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And it's like, that's not compelling in this day and age. I mean, you want your villains to be just as, you know what I mean, like, fleshed out as your heroes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what makes them interesting. Like, I'm tired of seeing just a basic villain, because they actually had a real plot. Helen Mirren explained it verbatim, like, to restore their realm. You stole our magic, we want that shit back. You know what I'm saying? And that's a simple, unrealistic goal. That's a simple goal that I 100% sympathize with. It's yours. You deserve it. I mean, this is yours. You should get your stuff back. You know what I mean? It is cool. It is what it is. You know what I mean? you have to be villain. Not everything is black and white. That's what Cobra Kai does so well. There's no real heroes or villains. There's just people on different sides. You know what I mean? In each side has their own point. So you know what I mean. So just to make someone villain is just to be a villain. You know what I mean? For what reason? You know what I mean? Like you're trying to be like, okay, it seems like much of what DC's been doing and Warner Brothers been moving, which is like executive stepping in and be like, no, we need an actual villain with an actual motive because we have to sell this, we have to sell that, we have to build this, we have to build that up instead of just telling a good story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're catering to an even more advanced audience. You're not just getting just kids, and I think even kids are better than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole point is not black and basically it's not black and white. Like you can be like, you know what I mean, on the antagonist and still have motives that I can sympathize with and understand. You know what I mean? Like what Black Panther did. You know what I mean? Like, so to make her just become this nefarious villain just cause to have a bad guy to do bad things to stop, you know what I mean, for Billy to stop, to me is contrived. And this whole movie screams of contrivedom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The plot is very contrived, but I'm let you go on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish up what you
While
said.
I do agree with everything you've just said, I also would like to add, you don't even need a sympathetic villain. At the very, very least, don't have a villain that sabotages their whole motivation. Because as far as we know, the motivation of the sisters are, again, to restore their world.
And if you are gonna do that, if you're gonna have it interesting, have it done in a way where I see why she'll go that way. She has, I said, as what you said, she has a personal grudge or some shit. It's something that developed that we could understand why she'll go all out. Like it has to be some kind of desperation, some kind of development there to justify her stupid actions, essentially.
Yeah, to justify her dooming her own world just
And
to get back at the
betraying her own
humans.
family. That
Yeah.
she was in this whole thing with.
That she actively tries to kill both of them and successfully kills one of them. Like what? The fuck? Why?
And really, that gets played out because that goes right into like the last act. Mm-hmm. And to me, I feel like the whole movie's been gutted too. I feel like the editing is very choppy. Now, I think the editing's very choppy, kind of like what BVS had. That's what killed a lot of BVS theatrical release. Outside of just the plot itself, like it was really editing. It felt gutted. It felt really, really gutted. It felt like it was an incomplete movie, a movie that was just ripped to shreds essentially. And like Warner Bros. Is really handling DC EU like shit, like really bad. You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad because DC should be better than Marvel, and Marvel's not even that great. But Marvel just does. They know what they're doing. And they doing it well. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing and they're consistent. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they have their formula, and their formula works for them. And Warner Bros. Is trying to chase the success of DC, trying to chase the success of Marvel, and because of doing that, and a lot of executive decisions, terrible executive decisions, it is pretty much butchering this franchise to the point where they have to reset it, which is embarrassing. You know what I mean? This whole thing is just a disgrace to me, and I'm kind of over it. And it's sad because I really want Zachary Levi to win because I think he's a star, man. He's a great dude. I mean, I watch him on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast a couple times. He does good vibes, and I want to see him win. You know what I mean? He has a good personality. I want to see him win. I think he's good. I think he has star potential. And also to see a dude come from a network show to becoming a movie star would be cool to see too. But I guess I have to settle for Austin Butler, that Nickelodeon extra from Nesdy Classified. Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot to pick apart with this film, man. It's just, and I think we kind of glossed over pretty much everything that made that movie suck. And also, yeah, the same problem with the first movie. Asher Angel and Zachary Levi are just not compatible. They're like two different people.
I know, right?
How is the adult version of Shazam act more of a kid in the Billy Batson? I guess because the whole thing with a kid having these kind of cool superpowers, it kind of make him more childlike than he would be in his like own skin. I guess he's trying to go for that vision. But even still, man, no, man. It's the same person. They should have a similar personalities. Not completely like goofy and jokey to like fucking Asher Angel's more serious persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take himself serious. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying it, fam.
It makes no sense, especially again when one of the powers Shazam is supposed to have is the wisdom of Solomon. That's what the S in Shazam literally stands for.
Some alright funny jokes, you know what I mean? That has some good moments in it.
But most of the humor is kind of meh.
Yo, yeah, when Jim Haley was reading the a letter, I thought that was quite amusing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought that was amusing just because it was her saying it. I mean, it was quite amusing. I'll say that.
Yeah, just hear her
Race to the villains. The villains should have been fleshed out a lot more because they had a whole story to them, and it's like nobody was really fleshed out enough in this movie. This movie should have been 2 hours and 40 minutes, in my opinion. Super movies should automatically be long because there's so much to develop, so much world to tell.
Especially when you have a massive cast like this.
So you have to have enough time to flesh out the familyness of it, the family dynamic, what they do, how they get along, how they balance in their social lives with their superhero lives. That's what Spider-Man 2 did very well. That's what made Spider-Man 2 so fucking good because they really fleshed out how the effects of what's being Spider-Man meant for Peter Parker's life. God damn it! That's how you tell a superhero movie.
Yeah.
That's what made Spider-Man 2 good. And they could have done that mixed with the whole family-friendly aspect to it. You know what I mean? That would have made this movie special. This movie had potential. And it flopped because modern-day movies are terrible with pacing. Yeah. Especially with their super movies. They just want to go through everything fast. And blow up this movie and plug this new movie that they're going to do. Just shut the fuck up and make a good movie. I'm tired of you, Warner Brothers. You are butchering DC. You've destroyed this franchise. I just hope James Gunn could do something right with this with this going forward. I hope The Flash is good. Maybe that's a glimmer of hope. But you already kind of butchered this franchise, so you already kind of ruined it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's already kind of over.
It is. And it's such a shame because, like, on paper, this is actually, like, a really good idea for a plot.
Yes.
It really bugs me. Like, yeah, because
the kid has to prove himself to actual gods.
Yeah, because
very cool.
Shazam, because who does Shazam get his powers from? Well, not just the Witch Shazam, but the Witch Shazam stole powers from the gods, and now the gods want it back.
What's up with
that
all
sounds
these,
awesome.
And what's up with this? Just in Black Adam with the superhero that could have been a huge help during the plot of the movie coming at the very end.
With all fairness here,
you could say all
they
that.
had a dome. They couldn't get through it.
You could say all that, but we should be at least a scene of her trying to get in.
It would have been cool to see, but with that being...
Because that would make sense in the world. Because if there's a real threat like that over a whole city, they would come. That's their job.
But they wouldn't have been able to do much of it.
But it don't matter.
It would have been a cameo for most of them.
Show it. Cameo, whatever. Show it.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see.
That makes sense. I don't believe in a world where these super exist, they will allow something like that to happen and not do anything about it.
Honestly, the worst part about it was fucking Billy's death. Because, like, we knew he wasn't going to stay dead. It was so blatantly obvious, and then they had her coming up just to do that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It feels like I don't know, it just feels so unearned.
It does.
Because, like, I mean, yeah, Billy made a sacrifice. He even made a pretty okay-ish plan. But when the villain is this lame, it's like... You know,
I mean, like, she literally has to... At least Lucy Liu was pretty much the main villain.
Yeah.
Other than the dragon, she literally has to get close to mind control you. So it's like... And you have the magical lightning powers, and you have a huge advantage, which is your speed.
Which she doesn't have.
Which she doesn't
all of you have. Yeah, we have like fucking 5 of you.
This fight, how it should have ended would is gonna have a field day with this movie. A fucking field day.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, just go get the staff. Done. Movie's over half an hour.
Exactly. Speed over, zap, done.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they need to do this entire time.
Because they're incredibly fast.
They got the drop on them a couple of times, but that's the only advantages they ever really get.
And why they only super fast on the floor? Why they can't fly at super crazy speeds?
Yeah, that's another thing that really bugs me because they should absolutely be able to.
Superman
They do that in the comics too. So why not do it here?
And Superman does, anyways.
Yeah, they all fucking should be able to fly massive speeds. There's no reason why not.
I mean, my score for this movie is pretty much what the critics Rotten Tomatoes kind of gives it. It's a 53 here. I'll probably give it a 55.
Yeah, I was also thinking 55 was the exact number by the time the credits rolled for me. So I'm in complete agreement with you on this. This is a 55.
Only score I have to say is wrong on this one. 87% is crazy. This movie's nowhere near that good.
I feel like the only people who are really enjoying it are just people who want to see something fun with their families.
Yeah.
It's,
nobody really looks at movies any kind of depth, really.
Yeah. So, fair enough. If they enjoyed it, good for them, but...
Potential, but execution, terrible.
We said we'd go back to it, but we didn't go back to it. Skittles.
Oh yeah, the most egregious product placement I've ever seen in my life.
We can't not talk about it.
Literally, a unicorn walking up, and she's like, "No, it's okay, it's okay." First of all, that girl is like, she's not as young and cute as she was in the first one. She's a little older now, so that whole 5-year-old attitude is not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's kind of creepy now.
Yeah, exactly. But she waited, and she threw at him, and it's a slow mo shot. And the Skittles just takes the rainbow. That was literally a commercial. That's literally a Skittles commercial. Mm-hmm. Literally, with just dark dark unicorns.
And later, they're all riding on the unicorns.
And
It's
as
the
she's-
rainbow, motherfucker.
And as she's throwing the Skittles, you literally see the fucking
Yeah, you see,
the Skittles bag logo.
you do. You see the logo on there.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Skittles found that whole movie.
They did.
That's why they kept the movie. They couldn't scrap the movie because Skittles paid for it.
God, and I've watched
It pissed off Skittles too much.
with Michael Bay, and this was probably the most egregious product placement I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, this
So
this is-
distasteful.
It like they tried. I guess they tried to make it funny, but man, I just can't defend
It was
that.
kind of funny, but I just couldn't. I couldn't.
I
fuck with
can't
it.
defend that. It's cringe.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movies cringy, especially all the scenes with Jacqueline Grazier and Rachel Ziegler, which was
Yeah.
a student a god masquerading as one of the students to gain Freddie's trust, and you know, I mean, that they had a lot of cringy ass scenes with him, like you could be a good person, blah 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 blah. You know, like what kind of romantic, like you're better than you are, simpy shit. Ugh. But done at extremely corny levels, and it didn't even flesh out the whole thing with Billy and his abandonment issues. It kind of glossed over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I mean, it's kind of relevant to what happens in the movie, but they could have done so much more with it.
That's the point. If it's not relevant to the old movie, then you know what I mean, you shouldn't have kind of. And honestly, once you get the whole thing, like, yo, you know what I mean, like, I'm still here, Mary Marvel, I'm still here, and I'm older, and we're not gonna leave you. Just hold it down. You know what I mean, there's need to be a whole subplot just to say,
Yeah.
this is a tack on to like, yeah, our movie has motion, movie has this, and movie has that. It's not about this. If your movie is cohesive and it makes sense.
Honestly, it actually kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange too, and how Doctor Strange kind of didn't feel like he really should have been the protagonist because it really wasn't about him, and this
At
movie
all.
kind of really isn't about Billy. Like
Nope.
he's here in a lot of important scenes. They like do the bare minimum to establish a plot, but really,
like Jack Dylan
Freddie
Grazer.
was like more the main character than him.
I
he
like
was.
Jack Dylan Grazer. I would have made Freddy the main character. He's more compelling of a character to me for somebody that's just a kid transforming into a superhero.
Yeah,
Like a crippled kid, you know what I mean, saying the word and becomes this everything he isn't in real life, you know what I mean, which is like a super strong, tall hero.
even then, like the actor just gives a better performance than the other kid actors.
And yes, he does. But these are most of them not even kids, and all of them like 18, 19, so.
Yeah, but you know what I
Young
mean.
adults.
The kid versions of those characters,
Yeah.
the quote unquote kid versions.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I meant. But yeah, I would have made him the main protagonist because honestly, he has the story. He's the one that kind of goes through an arc. He grows more as a character in this than Billy does, and Billy fucking died and came back. You think that would make him
And
grow
now
a bit?
Billy's kind of jacked now.
Yeah. And the parents seem just very accepting of learning that all their kids are just,
Yeah, adult superheroes. He puts up in extreme danger.
yeah. This movie is,
And you're super fast, but you can't dodge their slow ass fucking strike with the staff.
which makes no sense.
Really? Well, whatever.
So much of it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, don't see this movie or do it. You know, do what you want.
See it on HBO Max if you want.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want you to make money, but you're not really worth the money.
No, especially not in this month. We have so much other stuff coming
Yeah,
out.
so much more better stuff going out. You know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
if you make crap, you get crap. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Box office.
I mean-
a lot of the times at least.
I mean, with all fairness as I am, I still give you a better score than the newest Ant-Man, so
Yeah,
at least there's that.
I'll say it's probably a little better than the new. All right, guys. We'll catch you next video. Stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can see all of our newer videos as we drop them. Later, guys.
Yeah. See you next time, folks. Peace.